Arthur Johnson comes back in. What's been the huge difference between the Missouri team that finished 9-7 in the Big 12 and this team that's basically run through the first 2 rounds?
I think the biggest difference is they have made a commitment on the defensive end of the court, and then they've been much more patient on the offensive end, moving the ball, getting the inside game going. And each of these two teams, I think, today has been a little bit impatient on offense. Quick shots, and that generally isn't a formula for success.
Now Thompson pulls up off the dribble, too strong. Kroenke with the rebound. And as you mentioned, Kroenke and Capono, really good friends. Now Rush has been playing great all-around basketball during this tournament. Leading scorer on the team, Johnson, forced that one up.
And I think that's one thing you can say about a lot of the shots we've seen in this game, guys, just forcing it up out there.
Gadzuric leans in and out. Loose ball snatched down by Johnson. Arthur Johnson with a tough rebound in traffic.
One of the things that UCLA wanted to do was get Gadzuric going early, and they have not accomplished that. But Missouri can't get much going on the offensive end either. These UCLA defenders are long and difficult to shoot the ball over top of.
Gilbert, though, freeing himself with the dribble as he gets the freshman Walcott up in the air. Missouri on the game so far, 4 of 9 from the field. That's 44%. UCLA is 4 of 14. That's 28%. In the corner, Cummings, a brick. Tigers want to run.
You don't want to settle for that kind of shot, and you don't want to try to force it when it's not there.
Walcott in transition, stops on the break and nails a 3.
This is a UCLA team that is capable of getting out and going, and you want to be careful if you're Missouri. You don't want to give them a lot of transition opportunities.
Ryan Walcott has a pretty good cousin. He is the first cousin of Mike Bibby, the former Arizona star. Inside, Bryant steps on the baseline out of bounds. The 5th turnover for the Tigers. 11:48 to play, a 1-point game. And a look at the game summary. Missouri shooting 44%, UCLA 31%. Gus Johnson along with Dan Bonner. Dan, it looks like both of these teams are in a rush to start this game.
Gus, I think that's a very astute observation. There's not a lot of patience being shown either on the offensive end or the defensive end. I think the evidence of that, Dan Gadzuric for UCLA has only attempted 1 shot, and part of the UCLA game plan was to get him involved early.
Gadzuric with the monster game versus Cincinnati. 13 rebounds, 26 points, the young man from the Netherlands.
And now UCLA going to a little bit more structure on the offensive end. They go back to that 1-4 set that they like to use.
Inside, Barnes backing his way down over Bryant. The high banker is good.
And that time the ball touched the hands of a couple of different Bruins before they took a shot, and that was still a tough shot.
Matt Barnes from the Sacramento area practices with Chris Webber of the Sacramento Kings during the summer. So he's had a chance to play against some pretty good players.
And coming out of the timeout, UCLA now goes to that matchup zone defense.
Paulding down the lane on the hop, he travels.
And that's the 6th turnover by Missouri. And Ricky Paulding is a guy who really ignited them in the first couple rounds of the tournament. And he has struggled today. He has not taken a shot. He's turned it over twice already.
Missouri turning the ball over, as you mentioned, 6 times. They only average 14 turnovers per game on the season. Here's Barnes. Backs down his man across the lane, shovels it. Walcott catch and shoot. Short. Bryant with the 2-handed rebound.
Missouri's turned it over 6 times. They've given up 4 offensive rebounds, so they've given UCLA 10 extra possessions.
Paulding this time a 3. A brick. Loose. Walcott with the rebound. Here come the Bruins. They've got numbers. Knight from the corner. And air ball. Gadzuric with the rebound.
That's great hustle by the big guy. Just getting down the court.
They need to give it to him inside. Gadzuric wants it right now. Barnes looking. Pull up off the dribble. It's short. Neither team shooting well. Another offensive rebound. Knight. It rims around and out, and Bryant comes up with the rebound. UCLA with 6 offensive rebounds to start the game. Now Now Stokes, after missing his first two, will he be reluctant to shoot?
You've got to get the ball inside against the zone defense. You cannot simply rely on perimeter shooting. You've got to get it in there with dribble penetration or with a pass into the middle.
Weak side, Paulding, baseline 12-footer. Too strong. And the struggles continue for Mizzou, 4 of 10 now. It's even worse for UCLA. They've taken 21 shots, 6 of 21.
It's an amazing stat, 21 shots.
Gad Zurich on the baseline, no. Loose, Rush with the rebound.
And that's what they want to do with Gad Zurich, is make him shoot that jump shot over top of you. Don't give him dunks or layups, and there's the 7th turnover.
Now check out the fastest tournament scoreboards on the internet and get play-by-play of each game only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. And how can you explain what's happened to Steve Lavin and this UCLA team? They struggled during the regular season, finished their conference rather at 11-7. And maybe I shouldn't say they struggled, but they were predicted to do a lot better. But it seems as if they always come to play around this time of year.
If Steve Lavin could explain it, then certainly they would play at this level the entire season. But they had some good wins during the season. It's just as if they use a very difficult yardstick at UCLA.
One of only 2 coaches in college basketball to lead his team to 5 Sweet 16s in the last 6 seasons. Patterson can't get it to fall. Both teams horrid shooting here in the first half of play.
And Missouri is just going too fast.
In the corner, Gilbert. He gets it to fall. He's been the money player for this team this season. When they need baskets, he knows how to come up with them.
But you know who had a big key right there? It was Justin Gage, who catches the ball, gets himself stopped, and then passes the ball to Gilbert.
Gad Zurich down the lane, draws the foul. And that basket by Gilbert was the first field goal for the Tigers in 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So Dan Gad Zurich steps to the line. Here's a young man that has been ridiculed, booed for 3.5 years. They expected so much more, but he's playing some of his finest basketball right now.
He's from the Netherlands.
At Zurich, 6'11", 240. Top 10 all-time in rebounding at UCLA. Now tonight on the Emmy Award-winning Late Show, how about this? Dave welcomes actor Josh Hartnett, plus the top 10 ways Oprah Winfrey can improve her show. Ouch. Dave tonight here on CBS.
Gad Zurich only a 46% free throw shooter.
Second one good. 8:11 to play here in the first half. UCLA by a deuce.
One thing that UCLA has been able to do with the quick tempo of this game, Arthur Johnson just took himself out. He's really winded sitting over there on the Missouri bench.
UCLA 5-0 all-time against Mizzou. Rush not looking for his offense to start. Gilbert has been looking for the offense. Rush tracking down the rebound in the corner. And Stokes will reset it. Bryant wants it. Triple team. Hooks it on the floor, taken away by Knight. Tied up by Bryant. And the possession arrow favors Missouri. 7:41 to go here in the first half of play. Bruins by 2. The young faces of March. 15-13 UCLA with the lead over Missouri. 7:41 to go here in the first half of play. Gus Johnson, Dan Bonner with you. Steve Lavin's team.
It's been an interesting defensive performance by Steve Lavin's team. It just seems to me that Missouri is really in a hurry out there, and I think that it's the defense that's been applied by the UCLA Bruins that have created that frantic pace.
Rush in the corner, that one going over the backboard out of bounds. So UCLA, they defeated Mississippi in the first round, 80-58. Then a shocker as they knocked off top-seeded Cincinnati, 105-101 in double overtime. And that one probably the second best game of the tournament aside from that Creighton, Florida game. Creighton winning at the buzzer in overtime. .26 to play in the first half. 2-point lead for UCLA. Both teams